Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? Seems like we've been getting a slew of Nintendo related smartphone games as of late, and Pokemon isn't showing any signs of slowing down with the announcement of a new iOS/Android game called Splash Magikarp, or in Japanese, Hanero Koikingu. Currently, it's only announced for Japan and it was revealed on a one-page splash on their website that looked like a newspaper article. The newspaper article talked about how a 27-year-old fisherman found two mysterious 90cm Magikarp-shaped holes in the middle of a town. The 27-year-old fisherman found it in the morning and was very surprised. There isn't any information about his gameplay or what the game will be even about, aside from the Magikarp holes. We don't even have confirmation as to whether or not we'll even see Magikarp in this game, but seeing how Magikarp is in the title, I'm guessing we will be. The second piece of information we do know is that the developer of this title will be Select Button, and from this little piece of information we can actually have a pretty good guess at what the game will be like. Select Button was founded in 2014 and has only released one game so far called Survive Mola Mola. It's a fairly successful game as it has been downloaded over 5 million times. But it's actually very surprising to see Game Freak willing to work with such a small developer on a game that will carry their Pokemon franchise name. With their resume only being one game, it must be a very solid one for it to get the approval of Game Freak, so let's take a look at what this Mola Mola game is all about. Currently, the English version is in the top 25 highest grossing games on the App Store in South Korea, Taiwan, and Singapore. The basic premise of the game is you start off with a Mola Mola, which is basically a fish that evolves every time you feed it enough food, just like a Pokemon does every time you give it enough experience. As it gains weight, once it hits a threshold, it will evolve into its next form. But unfortunately, these Mola Molas aren't very good at staying alive. Every time you bring it out on an adventure to get a lot of food at once, it'll have a chance of dying on you, which means you have to start your Mola Mola from the very first level and feed him up again. Each time you die, you unlock some bonuses to make your next Mola's life easier. And as you progress, you'll get to unlock new fishies to feed your Molas, new areas to explore with your Molas, and other unlocks so that your progression will go faster in your next Mola's life. It sounds pretty simple at first, but I've tried it and it's oddly addicting as with all smartphone games. There's a certain type of charm to this game that you rarely get these days with smartphone games. It doesn't take itself too seriously and there are tons of Japanese emojis to go along the ride with you. Currently, the app has a ton of ads, obviously needed to sustain the company as it's its only source of revenue. But with a Pokemon collaboration, I think they'll focus on other sources of revenue like in-game purchases. Seeing how there's a fisherman as a character in the Magikarp game, I think that will probably represent the player, and if the game is any similar to Survive Mola Mola, it will probably revolve around training Magikarps to grow stronger and possibly be skinned differently for the different ranks to ultimately evolve into a Gyarados at the end. The Magikarps will also probably faint really easily as they are Magikarps after all, so you'll probably have to train them over and over again just like these Mola Molas. Since Splash is in the name of the game, that will probably be the main way of training and will probably either pit you against other Magikarps or other Pokemon you find in the waters. So, what do you think of another Pokemon iOS/Android game? At least we know that this isn't going to affect Game Freak's schedule in making their main games, as it's done by another developer. But would you play this? I know I would definitely check it out. But anyways, as usual, let me know in the comments below. Thumbs up the video if you liked it, and follow Tokyosaurus on social media for Japanese culture tweets and video updates. And make sure you're subscribed so you can get the latest things people are talking about in Japan right in your inbox. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.